I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record News Watch. They came to Poughkeepsie so their voices could be heard. Those touting specific casino proposals in the Catskills and Hudson Valley turned out for their chance to in front of a microphone where they spoke to members of the state's Gaming Facility Location Board, which will ultimately decide which of the casino applications will be selected from 3 regions of the state, with the decision expected to be announced later this fall. Those speaking out in favor of the Nevele Casino project included Ulster County Executive Michael Hine and SUNY Ulster President Donald Cadd, who said the college will be training pit bosses and resort workers. Others spoke out for both casino proposals at the former Concord Hotel site in Sullivan County. Assemblywoman Aileen Gunther said the state casino legislation was drafted with the Catskills in mind. And others spoke out in favor of casino proposals for locations in Orange County. Developers of 9 casino projects have applied for licenses in Orange, Sullivan, and Ulster counties. Investigators say it was an electrical malfunction that touched off an early morning 2-alarm fire that damaged a house in Sparrowbush. Chief Jack Flynn said the call came in shortly after midnight at a residence at 18 Hagen Road. A man sleeping on the upper floor of the 2-story house was awakened by the smell of smoke. 9 people were in the house at the time and were able to escape unhurt. Flynn says the fire began in a wall where electrical service enters the building, and the chief says the more than 40 firefighters called to the scene made a good save, saying the residence was left with moderate damage. They believe they are closing in. Law enforcement officials in northeastern Pennsylvania have said the search area through the miles of woods and rugged terrain is narrowing for Eric Frayne, the Canadensis, Pennsylvania man who's the subject of an intense manhunt following the fatal shooting of a state trooper and the wounding of another outside the state police barracks in Pike County's Blooming Grove Township. Frayne has been labeled a survivalist who police say may have planned his ambush for months or even years. Police search teams have been authorized to kill Frayne if he's identified and refuses to surrender. A disturbance Saturday in the town of Fallsburg led to criminal charges against a Woodburn man. State police say their investigation determined the 21-year-old Matthew Coney had threatened another man with a knife. Coney ran into a nearby wooded area prior to the arrival of police officers. Cell phone contact was made and Coney agreed to surrender. He was charged with menacing and criminal possession of a weapon. Orders of protection were issued ordering Coney to stay away from those who he had threatened with the knife. In Orange County Court today, an Otisville man was arraigned on reckless endangerment charges for his alleged role in a shooting at the Victory Lane Bar and Grill in Otisville last December. An attorney for 26-year-old Andrew Babcock filed a not guilty plea during today's court proceedings. Babcock had been shot in the chest and stomach during gunfire that involved his brother David, Thomas Hughes of Port Jervis, and Kevin Brennan, who was shot in the shoulder and arm and later pleaded guilty to felony assault and was sentenced to 9 years in prison. Andrew Babcock's attorney labeled his client's involvement a matter of self-defense. A major step has been taken towards the long-awaited creation of a Catskill Park Interpretive Center. Ground was broken earlier today for the center that will be located on 62 acres of Route 28 in the Mount Tremper area of the town of Shandaken. The New York City Department of Environmental Protection had announced a donation of $20,000 a year for 5 years, with the money to be used to help cover operating and maintenance costs. And the new Catskill Interpretive Center will be named for former Congressman Maurice Hinchey, who while in office had obtained $380,000 in federal funding for design work.
It will be a visitor center for people that come to the Catskills so that they can get oriented, find out about all the wonderful resources, both historic, cultural, and environmental, that are available in the Catskill Park.
Besides the center building, future plans include construction of an amphitheater for performances and events. The Catskill Park is the only major park in the country without an interpretive or visitor center. Today was a big day for dog lovers in Ulster County. The ribbon was cut to officially open the new Ulster County Dog Park, located on 2 acres of land adjacent to the county fairgrounds in New Paltz. Project was a collaboration between the county, the town of New Paltz, and the animal organization Paws of Ulster, Inc., which raised the needed money and will operate the dog park, which is free to dog owners and their furry companions. And this past Sunday, September 21st, was World Peace Day. And to mark the observance, the Menacing Valley Rotary Club dedicated 2 peace poles. one located at Shannon Park in Slate Hill and the other at the Town of Mount Hope Park in Otisville. Peace poles are 6 to 8 feet tall, handcrafted monuments that display the phrase, "May peace prevail on earth," on each of its 4 sides in different languages.
In 1981, they initiated an international peace day through the United Nations, and this is just an example of what we're doing in recognition of world peace. And so on September 21st every year, they have communities all over the world representing different types of factions and organizations and service clubs like ours doing something related to peace.
There are more than 250,000 peace poles in over 180 countries dedicated to promoting multicultural understanding, conflict resolution, and world peace. Minisink Valley Rotary received donations from businesses to aid in their peace pole project, including help from Benedict Memorials of Middletown that will provide bronze plaques that will be placed at the foot of each peace pole. And when the Wallkill Mighty Mites took the field for their latest game, battling the opponent was not the first order of business. No, they first had to try to get through their spirit banner, and that turned out to be a real challenge. But the Mighty Mites didn't let this setback get them down. They were able to pick themselves up and win the game, 24-0. Tomorrow should be another nice day once it warms up. It'll be a little chilly out there again during the early morning hours. Then the temperatures will rise into the low 70s Wednesday under a mostly sunny sky. Thursday will be mostly sunny with just a slight chance of a little rain late in the day. The highs will once again be up in the 70 to 75 degree range. Well, get the information you need and the features you enjoy each morning in the Times-Herald Record, and breaking news is always just a click away right here at Record Online. For Record News Watch, I'm Tracy Baxter.